Hello people of the YouTube, T-Dub here, and welcome to my stream of content style video on SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain, released all the way back in the year 2003. Oh boy, this is one people recall quite fondly, but does it deserve all of the acclaim? Let's take a look and discover for ourselves, shall we? As usual, we're starting with the gameplay, and it's got the speed of Shut Your Mouth, but with a few complexities thrown in. First off, when you press one of the four directions with the D-pad and circle, you enter a grapple instead of automatically performing a move. This increases each wrestler's moveset immensely. Another big change is the addition of limb damage, which is actually the only way Here Comes the Pain keeps track of how damaged a wrestler is. This is also where submission minigames were introduced, with button mashing being the one of choice here, and it works well enough. You can tell this is early days because some finishers barely do any damage at all. Finishers! As far as match types go, you have your usual suspects, although I will say that the backstage section, while unrealistic, is pretty iconic. Seriously, what other game allows you to build up momentum via a treadmill? As for what's new, well, we do have the debut of the Elimination Chamber match, and it only took them over a decade to add entrances to it. Nevertheless, the match type, even in its initial outing, is still pretty fun to play. The roster is certainly a who's who of WWE, on top of returning stars like Triple H, Undertaker, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, etc. We also have the debut of legends such as Rey Mysterio and Ultimo Dragon. I will always say that it's a shame how dirty Ultimo Dragon was done in WWE. Just nasty business that was. In terms of arenas, you got your typical weekly shows like Raw, SmackDown, Heat, Velocity, as well as all the pay-per-views, and well, that's it. It wasn't until SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 where we started to get some bonus venues, so before that, it was whatever the most recent 12 pay-per-views were plus weekly shows, and we were happy with that. Now, for the season mode, you pick a wrestler, draft the brands, and hey, you can choose who's face or heel now. Nice! I went with John Cena, who also made his series debut here as the legendary Doctor of Thugonomics. Honestly, nothing really happened for a while. I mean, yeah, we won the US Championship and defended it, but story-wise, really nothing. Unless you count Jerry Lawler constantly asking us if we wanted to go for the tag titles, which, no Jerry, we don't want the tag team titles. That is, until pervert-ass Vince McMahon decided to attack Jim Ross, who, alongside Jerry Lawler, is doing commentary on SmackDown now, I guess. Thankfully, the future leader of the C Nation chases off McMahon, but next week, revenge is his, as McMahon distracts Cena while a series debuting, Shelton Benjamin attacks. Man, this roster really is stacked. The next week, Vince is gloating and books Cena in a handicap match, but Lawler has seen enough and decides to tag with us, which leads to a good old-fashioned babyface victory. The next week, following Cena's match with Shelton Benjamin, Vince attempts to fire the future greatest of all time, but he's interrupted by the SmackDown general manager, Stephanie McMahon, who books Cena versus Vince inside a steel cage match at Bad Blood. Okay, we gotta talk about this video package because nothing they show here actually happened, which makes it super hilarious to me every time I reach a pay-per-view during a storyline in this game. Oh, and the cage match is like 20 seconds because when it comes to season mode, I choose to work smarter, not harder. Afterwards, we get to add additional pain to Vince, and I can't think of a better way to end this segment. Overall, Here Comes the Pain is still a damn good time. Would I actually play it over some of the more modern titles? Probably not at this point. I mean, 2K have got a pretty good thing going right now, and even Fight Forever has a decent niche, and even just talking about PS2 games, there's Fire Pro, but I digress. This game still rules and, if nothing else, still serves as a pretty good time capsule for 2003 in the world wrestling entertainment.
You know, I thought I would have more to say about this game, but I suppose not. Nevertheless, there's another one done, dusted, and put into the past. As for what is next in the future, I guess it would be kind of hard to tell with, no box art like this. This is the hazard of buying used games at GameStop back in the day. Sometimes, you just wouldn't get any information about the box art or any of that. So next time, here we go. Let's do this nice and proper. We're going to be taking a look at, oh boy, super professional I am. That's right, the original OG Silent Hill 2 on the PlayStation 2. Oh boy, that should be fun. I know the remake's coming out, but I'm not going to be playing that for any time soon, I can tell you, especially because I'm going to be saving money for Dragon Age The Veilguard. That's what I'm going to be purchasing, especially because I already have Silent Hill 2 at home. I don't need no remake, at least not yet. Maybe if it goes on sale for like $20, I'll check it out. But for right now, I am quite happy with this game, and I'm going to be taking my time reviewing this. This is not going to be no next week or week after that type thing. You're going to have to wait well into October possibly for this video. I'll try to get it out relatively soon, but at the same time, I do not want to rush this. This is one of my favorite video games of all time, and I want to do it proper justice. All right? So I'll see you all for that. Hopefully you'll join me for those fun, spooky times, and hope you all also have a perfect rest of your day.